All right. Good morning. How are you, sixth grade?
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, let's see who we got. Good morning to the following scholars today that decided to show up. Hector Juan, Jasmine Lopez, Anna, Angelina, Esther, Guadalupe, Kira, Nikel, Demi, Adrian, Aiden A, Alyssa, Allison P, Allison M, Annalena, Blessing, Brandon, Carlos, Daniela, Jency, Jesus, Kayasia, Kamora, Kira, Christian, Elise, Melanie, Nazir C, Stephen Tahada, Yair, Zachariah, and Jazzy Q. So good morning all. I hope all is well with you. Before we get started today, guys, it's Wednesday, May 20th of 2020. I'm going to now mute you all and show you what we're going to be working with. And we're going to get started. All right, let me go back to the other view now. Uh-oh, speaker view. Oh no, here we go. All right, so today it's Wednesday, May 20th of 2020. We're going to be working with rational numbers today. As you saw yesterday, a rational number is written as a fraction. Fraction is division. So today we will be seeing some fractions or rational numbers in problems, and we will convert those rational numbers into decimals in order to solve the question. So today's learning target is I can add and subtract integers related to adding and subtracting rational numbers. Lesson notes. Today, scholars, we will learn how to add and subtract rational numbers. This is the beginning of 7th grade math. Just a quick reminder, here's what rational numbers are. Rational numbers is a number that can be written as a fraction. It has the word ratio. A ratio is written as a fraction. Rational numbers are real numbers and can be positive and negative. A number that is not rational is called irrational, like pi, 3.14159, and so on, is irrational. Most of these numbers that people use every day are rational numbers. These include fractions and integers. So for example, 5/1 is a rational number written as a fraction. 5 is written as a fraction if I put it over 1. And 7, -7, is an integer, but if I put it over 1, it's now a rational number as a fraction. And then here's just some examples that we reviewed yesterday, and here they are for you. All right. We're going to go over problem 1, okay? I have the English on top and the Spanish underneath for you. So first off, to start us off today, is going to be this lovely lady of the day. Okay, good morning, Jasmine Lal. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you read for me number 1 in English and Spanish, please?
Okay, how many dimes are there in a dollar? ¿Cuántas monedas de 10 centavos hay en $1?
So how many dimes are in a dollar?
Oh, no. 10.
That's right. Good job. 10. 10. Escribe 10 en la línea. Right, 10.
Okay.
Number 2, Jazz, can you read the English and Spanish for me?
Okay. So what fraction could you use to represent 1 dime? Entonces, ¿qué fracción podrías utilizar para representar un centavo?
Okay, so if there are 10 dimes in a dollar and I have 1, what's my part? How many dimes do I have?
1/10.
1/10. Good job. Write that down. Excellent. You're doing a really good job. I'm going to keep you reading.
Okay. How many quarters are in a dollar? ¿Cuántos cuartos hay en $1? The four.
So what's the fraction?
1/4.
Good job. Write that down. Number 4.
So what fraction could use to represent 1/4? Así que fracción podrías utilizar para representar una cuarta? 1/4.
Yeah, 1/4. Good job.
Okay.
Okay, number 5.
Can you represent the amount of money below using only diamonds or only quarters? Why or why not? ¿Se puede representar la cantidad de dinero más adelante usando solamente 10 centavos o solo quarters? ¿Por qué o por qué no?
So before you answer the question, you have to look at the bottom of your You have to stay right. I'm going to bring you right back, Jazz. Okay, I have a few people on here that are bilingual. So this is a dime and this is a quarter. 10 plus 25 is 35 cents. So what they're saying is, can you use dimes or quarters to represent this amount? That's what they're asking. So let's hear from this student. So Hector, can you hear me? Unmute yourself or put your volume up. Okay, so on number 5, it's asking, can you represent the amount of money below by only using dimes or quarters? Can I give 35 cents all in dimes?
No.
No. Can I give 35 cents all in quarters?
No.
No. So no, you cannot, because to make 35 cents, you can give me 3 dimes to get 30, but if you give me 1 quarter, you're now over 35 cents. You're now at 55 cents. So you're going to say, no, you cannot. I'm just going to show you. So I wrote, no, you cannot. You will need 1 dime and 1 quarter to make 35 cents. Don't worry about number 6. We're going to cross that one off. All right. So 26, we're going to say omit because we kind of already answered it. I answered it here. All right, I'm going to change the page now. Very simple stuff to write today. This was just a little intro because what we just answered that Jasmine read in English and Spanish, okay, is now written as a ratio, which is a rational number, which is a fraction. So if you're done, you can try to do page 2, page 3, I mean, but if not, just hold up for a second. All right, we're now going to go to page 3. And here we're going to have to apply the rules that we've been working with integers, okay? So let's just review real quick on page 3. When the signs are different, we take the sign of the higher number and we subtract. Different signs you subtract. So you might want to write that on your paper. Different signs you subtract. Write that down on your paper on page 3. Different signs subtract. Higher number. On the next page, on page 3, when the signs are the same, you keep the sign and add. So same signs add. Write that down. Same sign equal add. Different sign equals subtract. Very important for page 3 and the rest of this work. Okay. So let's look at page 3, problem A. All right, Esther, let's bring you here. So Esther, on page 3, problem 2A, we're going to add 5.5 plus negative 2.4. So first off, you ask yourself, so the signs the same or the signs different?
The signs are different.
Right, so when the signs are different, are you going to add or subtract? We're going to subtract. So on your papers, write 5.5 minus 2.4 and give me the difference in the chat box. So in case you're unsure, as Esther does it, she's not going to call it out just yet. You're going to write, we're on page 3, we're on letter A. What's 5.4 plus negative 2.4 equal to? Remember, different signs say subtract and keep the sign, don't say anything yet, Esther, the sign of the higher number. Just give them a moment, okay? Good job, Guadalupe. Esther, you see what Guadalupe is writing? Good, Kimura. Good, Chris Danielise. I got 3 responses. I need a few more. Good, Kayasia. Good, Ali M. Good, Adrian. Good, Kira. Good, Stephen Tejada. Good, Hector Juan. Good, Blessing. Okay, Jasmine L. Good, Melanie. Good, Sarai. I would like to hear from Mr. Acevedo. Good, Angelina. Good, Daniela. All right, good, Demi. So Esther, what is the answer for letter A on page 3?
3.1.
Good, 3.1. All right, let's look at the next one. We got negative 12.4 plus negative 6.9. What do you notice about the signs?
They're the same.
They're the same. When the signs are the same, what do we do, Esther? Add or subtract? Add. So page 3, letter B. Same signs, we add and keep the sign. So the problem that you all have to investigate on the chat box is negative 12.4 is being added to negative 6.9. I need you to tell me right now underneath my answer. Kaisha, try again, sweetheart. I think you missed some numbers. Melanie, check your math and check your sign. Melanie, you're good. Jasmine Lopez, you got to remember the sign. Daniela, try again. Guadalupe, almost. Hector, try again. Yes, Kimura? Good, Kira. Good, Yair, almost. Jency, almost. So Esther, were you able to subtract 12? I mean, were you able to add 12.4
Yes.
plus 6.9?
Yes, it's 19.3.
It's what?
19.3.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Did I make a mistake?
4 is 13.
Did I make a mistake? Oh, you're right. It is 19.3. Sorry. So those that I told you were wrong, I apologize. I made a mistake. It is negative 19.3. Good job. So if I told you were wrong, I'm sorry. All right, letter C. We're going to now call somebody else now. Let's go and look at, let's try this young lady. Hi, Kaeja. How are you? Kaeja, you good? Kaeja, can you hear me? Yes, no? All right, Kaeja, we're going to try this one. 67.4, letter C, plus 1.56. Are the signs the same or different? Are the signs the same or different? Huh? You're unmuted. Huh? They're the same. So when they're the same, are we adding or subtracting? When the signs are the same, we add. Same signs, we add. So we're going to add, and Kaisha is going to tell us the answer. These numbers. Oh. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to send that privately. Oopsies, let me put that to everybody. Hold on. So I'm going to type the question, and then you guys are going to type your responses. So page 3, letter C. Good, Blessing. Good, Melanie. We're waiting for Kaeja to tell us what she got. Good, Kimura. Good, Jency. Jency, go back and check the math. You got one digit wrong.
68.96.
68.96. Bravo. Okay, Kaeja, we're going to do letter D together. Good job, those that answered the chat box. All right. E, negative 0.35 plus negative 3.25. Kaeja, are the signs the same or different? Same. So when the signs are the same, what do we do, Kaeja? Add or subtract? Same signs, what do we do? Add. So add and keep the sign. Let's go, everyone add. Oh, there's an echo. All right, so I'm writing the question. Same signs mean add. So we got 1, 2, 3 people that got a response. 4, 5. Chris, try again. Good, Guadalupe. Good, Carlos. Good, Yair.
-3.
What did you say, Kaija?
-3.
3 point what? I couldn't hear you because my internet cut off. What did you say?
3.6.
Good, negative 3.6. Thank you. Awesome. Let's put you back up here. All right. All right, Demelisa, let's see what you got this morning. All right, Demelisa, this one's pretty easy with the fractions on page 3, letter E. We got 11/12 plus negative 7/12. So are the signs the same or different?
Different.
Different signs. So when they're different signs, are we adding or subtracting?
Subtracting.
Good. We're subtracting and keeping the higher sign. Which is higher, 11 or 7?
11.
So it's going to be a positive. Now, what's 11 minus 7? 11 minus 7.
4.
4. So it would be 4/12. Because when the denominators are the same, you keep it. So it should be 4/12. So just to recap what we did, thank you, Demi. Okay, here's what we just did. Again, we talked about you have to know if the signs are the same, you add it. If the signs are different, you subtract. So here, different signs I subtract, and 5.5 was larger, that's why it's positive. Here, the signs are the same, I keep the sign and add. Here, the signs are the same, I just add. Here, the same signs, I keep it and add. But here, different signs, I keep the sign of the higher number and subtract. Okay. I'm going to call somebody else now. They're going to read me the English and the Spanish. Where'd she go? All right, that's what you should have had. I'm going to leave this up for another 5 seconds, and then we're going to go into practice problem 3. We're almost done. Okay. All right, we're gonna have this person come now. Hello, Guadalupe.
Hi.
Hi. All right, I'm going to need some help on problem 3 on page 3. Can you read me the English, then the Spanish, please?
Okay.
Loud and proud.
Carla has $50 in a bank account. She writes a check for $60 from the account. How much money does Carly have in the account after writing the check? Carla tiene $50 en su cuenta de banco. Ella escribe un cheque para $60 de su cuenta. ¿Cuánto dinero tiene Carly después de escribir el cheque?
Can you now read letter A for me in English and Spanish?
Write a number sentence for the problem. Escribe una oración numérica.
Okay, so you're going to help us out. Thank you, Guadalupe. Guadalupe, how much money is in the account?
$50.
$50. I'm taking the 50, and if I write a check, am I adding or taking money? What do you think? When you write a check, you're deducting, you're taking the money out. So you're subtracting that from your account, right? It's kind of like a withdrawal. Remember when we did deposits and withdrawals? A deposit is when you put money in, and a withdrawal is when you take it out. So if you were writing a check, you're losing money. So what's 50 minus 60?
10.
What kind of 10? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Oh,
Or negative.
Right. So how much money is now in her account? Positive $10 or negative $20?
Wait, what?
You just said it. If you start with 50 and you're writing a check for 60, how much money are you overdrawn by? You just said it.
-10.
Yeah, negative $10. How easy was that? Easy, right? So this is what it should look like, what she said. We have $50 is what's in the account. I take away 60. I keep the 50. I change this to addition, and I change this 60 to negative 60, and I get negative $10. So now she's got negative $10 in her account because she only had $50 and she wrote something that's $10 over, which puts her in the negative. This is actually a real life example because when you get a bank account, if you don't have one yet, and you take out more money than what you have, you actually go in the negative and you owe money. You now have a debt, right? Going back to when we did integers, positive and negative. And remember when I bought in the deposit and withdrawal tickets? Remember that? When I showed you when you write your checking account and you deposit money, you put the money in, and then if you withdraw it, you take it out. Real world example. That's how it relates to the real world integers. All right. Guadalupe, I'm going to bring you back. You're going to read for us page 4, problem 4.
Do I read?
Yes. Problem 4.
Find the following sum using a number line diagram. -2, 1.5 plus 5. Encuentra la siguiente suma usando diagrama de la línea numérica.
Okay, so Guadalupe, if I have 1/2, if I have 2/4, how much money do I have?
40 cents.
2/4. Each quarter is 25. I got 2. How much money do I got?
40 cents, I guess.
10 more.
Wait, what?
If you have 2/4, how much money do you have? If each one is 25 cents.
You have 40 cents.
50 cents.
50 cents?
Yeah, 2/4 is 50
Oh,
cents.
yeah, you do, my bad.
It's okay. So 1/2 is equal to 0.5 or 0.50. So what you need to write on your paper is any time that you see a fraction, remember you got to convert them to decimals when we did PEMDAS. Remember I told you that? So 1/2 is the same as 0.5 or 0.50. So now you're actually subtracting negative 2.5 plus 5. Right? The signs are different. So you're going to keep the sign of the higher number and subtract. 5 is 5.0 now to make it a decimal. So 5.0 minus 2.5 is going to give me 2.5. I'll show you. So we have 5.0 minus 2.5. I have to regroup. And I get 2.5. It's the new answer. It's 5.0 minus 2.5 because 5 has to become a decimal by adding a decimal point and a 0. Then I regroup. I make this become a 10 so I can subtract. And if I take one here, I got to take one here. I got to take one from its neighbor. So it's 2.5 is where this is where it would be, where my yellow pencil mark is, okay? Positive 2.5. You're just applying the adding integer and adding the subtracting integer rule. Okay? All right. Let's now go to problem 5 now. Okay, Guadalupe, I'm going to ask for you to please read me problem 5 on page 4, English, then Spanish, please. Loud and proud.
The temperature is negative 8.5 degrees. The temperature rises to 4.9 degrees. What is the new temperature? La temperatura es negativo 8.5. La temperatura subió a 4.9 ayer. ¿Cuál es la nueva temperatura?
Okay. So, Before we do, I'm going to show you the answer in a second after we go through it. So if we're at negative 8.5, everyone write on their paper minus 8.5, where the white space is underneath this number line. We're going to write negative 8.5 here. Now, it says that the temperature rises. When something rises, it increases. So when something increases or rises, it's a positive integer. So now it's actually, you're subtracting, you're having negative 8.5. This is what it looks like. I'll show you. You have negative 8.5 plus 4.9. Okay, this is what your number sentence looks like. Negative 8.5 shows me what the temperature is. When something rises, it's positive, 4.9. So this is the number sentence. Now, when the signs are different, I keep the sign of the higher number, which is 8.5, and I subtract. So you're going to subtract 8.5 minus 4.9. Different signs I subtract. When you do the subtraction, and we keep the negative, because that's the higher number, the 8.5 is greater than 4.9, I get negative 3.6 degrees Celsius. Because I wrote here, different signs you subtract, keep the higher sign. It should say, keep the sign of the higher number. Keep the sign of the higher number. I didn't finish my thought when I did it. So you get negative 3.6 degrees Celsius. Okay, so here is page, what is this? Página 4. We're almost done. We're gonna do page 6, then the exit ticket, and you're gonna do we're gonna do page 5 and 7, and then you're gonna be put in a room to try to do page 6, which is the challenge. Okay? I'm taking it down. In the meantime, I want you to try to read and annotate page 5 on your own. As you read and annotate, I just want to tell you about page 5. On page 5, when you see the word debt, debt is a negative amount. It's money you owe. Debt is money you owe. So for example, I went to undergrad. I got my bachelor's in psychology and education. I took out a loan. So that's debt that I have to pay back. I got money from the government to pay to go to college. Then when I went to grad school, I took out more loans. So I have more debt, and I got to pay all that debt back. So that's negative money that I owe because I borrowed that amount by taking out a loan. Let's see who else we can get to read here. Let me see if, let's see who we got. I was trying to call on somebody here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Jancy?
Yeah.
Okay. Jancy, can you read Spanish or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're on page 5, problem 6. Can you read me the English and the Spanish, sir?
How much debt will I be if I spent negative 35 but only have $28 in the bank? ¿En cuánta deuda estaré si yo gasto negativo 35 pero solo tengo $28 en el banco?
Very nice. Okay. So Jancy, wait, show your face a little bit. Try to sit up a little bit because I see your head. I see like a little forehead. I don't see your eyes. There we are. There's his face. Okay. So if you have a debt, right? Is that a positive or negative money?
Negative.
So put minus 35 in the box.
Mhm.
Now the next question says you only have $28 in your account. You have 28. Is that positive or negative?
Positive.
Good. So put plus $28. 28. So negative 35 plus 28. Write that on the box, in the box. Negative 35 plus 28. Now, we know that the signs are the same or different, Jency.
Different.
So when the signs are different, what does the rule say to do?
Subtract.
Subtract and keep the sign of the higher number. So what's greater, 35 or 28?
35.
So it's negative, and what's 35 from 28?
7.
7. So negative $7 is your debt. Thanks, Jency. You did a good job. All right, so for the first part, negative $7 is your debt. Different signs. It says you have a debt of 35, which means you owe that, but you have 28. 28 is positive because you already got that in the account. Keep the sign of a higher number, which was 35, which is negative, and then you subtract. That's how I got 7. $7 is my debt, negative 7. Okay, here it says you're going to use a calculator. I'm going to teach you how to subtract integers now. Okay, and if you also saw, I annotated and I put debt was negative, so I know. When you spend money, it's negative money taken away. When you gain money, you earn it. It's positive. All right, so now we're going to look at when we subtract a rational number. So before we go over that, I want to show you how you subtract. So if you flip over on page 5, I don't know if you have room. I want you to write this down. When you're subtracting, I'm actually going to write it on the back of my paper so you can see it. When you're subtracting integers, you're going to keep the first change and change. So for example, if I have 8 minus negative 4. Okay, here's an example. Everyone look at this example. You don't have to write it if you don't have room. Just look at my paper. When I'm subtracting integers, I'm going to keep the first number, which is 8. Okay, and this is not on your paper. I'm just showing you. We're going to keep the 8. I'm going to now change the subtraction sign to addition. I keep, I change, I change. So the subtraction becomes addition. Now, I'm doing the additive inverse. So the opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. So you're going to keep, change the subtraction to addition, and then you're going to do the opposite. The additive inverse now is the new word. Negative 4. The opposite is that is positive 4. So now I take the subtraction example or expression and I create it into an addition sentence. So 8, I keep, I change to positive, I change to positive because the opposite of subtraction or negative is positive. 8 plus 4 is now 12. Same signs I add. Now I'm going to take this example, keep, change, change, and I'm going to apply it to A, B, C, and D here. Okay, so we're going to take this example and we're going to apply it to A, B, C, and D here. All right, let's look at A. Okay, let's go call on, let me see. Let me go call on this person. Let's see if someone I haven't heard from. Let's call on, where did she go? I don't know if, Chris Danielise, are you able to turn your camera on? Where'd she go? Yeah? Where are you? Here she is. All right. So let's bring you to the screen now. Okay? We're doing keep, change, change. So on letter A, it says negative 5 minus parentheses negative 2.4. We're going to take all of these subtraction questions and create them into addition like I just showed you. Okay? So let's do A. 9.5. We keep that, right? We keep that. What happens to the negative, the subtraction sign? What does it now become?
It turns into 2.4.
Good. So 9.5 plus 2.4 is how much? So we're writing on line A, guys, we're writing 9.5 plus 2.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I got 11.9.
Bingo, you're correct. Let me just show that. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to bring you right back. We change, keep the 9.5, she said, change to addition, and change. So now the new example, the new addition sentence is 9.5 plus 2.4 is 11.9. Okay? Chris, you're going to do letter B for us.
Okay.
Right? Hold on. Let me bring you back. Where'd she go? There she goes. Let's bring you back. All right, you're going to do letter B. It says negative 16.4 minus 6.9. Rewrite that as addition first.
Okay, so as addition, it is 16.4 plus 6.9.
You forgot something. What kind of sign is with the 16.4?
Negative.
Right, so negative 16.4 plus, what's the opposite of a positive integer?
Negative.
Right, so it should read negative 16.4 plus negative 6.9.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
see that? Keep, change.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the signs are different or the same?
The same.
So when they're the same, you keep the sign, and what do? Add or subtract?
Add.
Add. So now add 16.4. Good, Kaeja. Good, Nazir. 16.4 plus 6.9.
We got 23.3. Negative
Good.
23.3.
Negative 23.3. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to help you guys out on C and D just for time because I want you to be able to do that last thing I want you to be able to do that last thing. Okay. So again, we're going to keep the 5/7. We're going to make the subtraction into addition, and then we're going to change the positive 3/7 to negative 3/7. So now we got 5/7 plus negative 3/7. Same rules. The denominators are the same, so I keep the 7. And because the signs are different, I subtract and I get 2/7. Same thing on the bottom. I keep the negative 24 over 25. I change the subtraction to addition. This is a positive 5. It now becomes negative 5 over 25. The signs are the same. I keep the negative. I add the numerators. I keep the denominators because the denominators are the same. It's the same thing with fractions, right? You either add or subtract when the denominators are the same. Here you didn't have to do anything. You just had to do the keep, change rule. Thumbs up if you're with me. Thumbs up if you're with me. Let me go see the other side. Hold on. There's a lot of folks on today. There's 32 of you. Awesome. Good. All right. Again, you keep the first, you change the subtraction to addition. You got to remember that. And then you, whatever the opposite is, you're doing the additive inverse. The additive inverse is the opposite. New 7th grade word. All right. We're going to go over the exit ticket on page 7 first. Then I'm going to stop the video because then I'm going to put you in a room to try page 6 as a challenge. I'm going to assign your rooms. All right. Exit ticket, page 7. Hi, Kamora. All right, Kamora, you seem to be doing really well from what I've been seeing with your chat, with your answers.
Hi.
All right, Kamora, we're on page 7, problem 1. Can you please read that for me?
The temperature was 12.2 degrees Celsius at noon, but it dropped to negative 5.3 degrees Celsius overnight. What is the overall difference in the temperature?
All right, so let's look at this tomorrow. We have 12.2. Write that down on the white space. Put 12.2.
She went to the bathroom.
All right, so, okay, Kira, you stay there. 12.2, Kira. And when it drops, it's going to be what?
What was the question?
So we got 12.2. And then it says it dropped. That means went down by how much?
Oh, hold on. Let me try to figure this out.
So 12.2 minus parentheses negative 5.3. So you're going to keep the 12.2, right? Let's see if this lovely lady, let me see where Esther is. Let's see what Esther's got going on. Esther, can you help us out? Hold on one second. All right.
It's 6.9.
Well, I don't know if it would be 6.9 because it says it dropped, which means minus, and then it was negative 5.3.
Oh.
I know that one's a little tricky, right? Right, because look, the wording was a little tricky because it said, look, it was 12.2 degrees, but then it dropped means minus, and then it was negative 5.3. I made the same mistake you made. So we're going to keep the 12.2. We're going to make the subtraction addition.
Is it like dividing or something?
We were adding, actually, 5.3. So then I think it's going to be like this. Look. Let's see, twins. I think it's like this. Who got the same answer as me? Who got 17.5 degrees Celsius? Because look, if we're at 12.2, to get to 0, we got to go 12.2. And then to get to the negative 5.3, we got to go a total of 17.5 jumps, right? I could be wrong, though. Do you agree or disagree? Esther, do you agree or disagree with me?
I'm still doing something on my own.
Okay, let's see. Youssef, do you agree or disagree with what I just said?
I disagree because I don't know if I'm wrong or not because I just got here. But like, if it was to drop, because it can't be 17.5 because it went over.
Yeah.
If it dropped.
But then it says here, what is the overall difference?
Yeah,
Oh.
Let me, yeah, because you know what, Youssef, I did the same thing that you did. Because what I was thinking is, right, if we're at 12.2 degrees and then it dropped, which means it's negative, and then it dropped to negative 5.3, right?
Yeah,
If
so
it-
that means at 5.3 is the new temperature, and they're asking for the difference between both of them. So it's 6.9.
it is 6.9?
Yeah. Actually, wait, let me go call my dad. Daddy!
I mean, I really looked at it, dropped, went negative, and then it was negative 5.3. So they're asking what is the overall difference. So if you look at it, 12.2 is 12.2 units from 0. And then I want to go to 5. If I drew it on a number line, like this might help you. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, right? So if we're here, I'm going to show you. Hold on, let me just draw it on my paper. And then we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is what I did. And you guys tell me if you disagree. If this is 12.2 and then it dropped to negative 5.3, I have to find the overall difference. So I have to do all those hops, right? Yes? Somebody talk to me. Right? Esther? Jency? Youssef? Are you with me, Youssef? Youssef? I used the calculator and I got 17.5. Yes, that's correct. Because look, 12.2 to get to 0 was 12.2. So I'm here. If I go 12.2 hops, I'm at 12.2. Then I have to go another 5.3, which this whole number line, right, is going to be, I know it's a trick one. I did the same thing. It's going to be 17.5. Now do you see that, Yusuf? Because I saw the O, the light bulb, right? It's tricky the way I worded it, right? Made you think. It's okay.
Wait.
Now you know. All right? So again,
Yes.
I showed you on the number line, and if you use the calculator as well, by punching in the negative number, you're gonna get 17.5, which would be choice B on the paper. All right, let's look at this one. A scuba diver was negative 130 feet under, so it's negative 130, and then it rose positive, and it rose, that means went up, negative 28. So we're at negative, and we go up 28. We're still in the negative, right? We're still in the negative, correct? Correct? Where's Leanne? We're gonna have her do this one. Here she is. Leanne, are you able to come off of mute? Leanne? Walk us through. Are you able to turn the camera on? Leanne? All right, Leanne. So what do we do on problem 2?
On problem 2, we have to start with negative 130,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe you have to do plus
Plus what number?
negative 28.
Good. So then what is the difference in depth below the sea level? Keyword is below. So obviously you know it's going to be a negative number, right?
Yeah.
So what is it now?
I think it's 158. No, negative 158.
Right, because we're still in the negative, so that pulls out C and D. So if you think about it, you're negative 130 down, and then it rose, that means went positive, but you're still in the negative. So when the signs are the same, keep the sign and you subtract, and you get negative 158. Yes?
Yes.
Right? You got to look at the word, and it gets tricky.
So it's on 158?
It's A. I thought it was negative
Oh,
102.
I got it right.
But you have to look
I
at
got
that
it right
because
still.
it rose negative 28. You're still in the negative, no matter what you do. So you already eliminated choice C and D. Now, Yusuf, you're going to do problem 3 for us. What is negative 3/5 minus 1/5 equal to? KCC. Did you catch that part when I did on the back of the paper before?
No.
Oh,
But I think it's negative 2/5.
no,
I mean, no. Negative 4/5.
correct, which is what choice?
B.
Negative 4/5
Wait.
is B or D?
I mean, D.
There you go. Good job, bud. All right, so I'm going to show the paper. Because remember, you keep, change. So this is now negative 3/5 I keep. This was plus, minus becomes plus, and this becomes negative 1/5. I get negative 4/5. Therefore, you get choice D. There's your lovely answers. Okay. I'm going to hit stop now.